You gotta get up the mic. Oh, hey. Hey. What? What? Holy. So, I made a specific playlist for Creepy Crawlies this week, because, you know, I was telling y'all about that last week. If you were paying attention, which you weren't, you probably ended right after the gaming stops, right? But you missed my outro, so congrats. Anyway, I made a playlist for Creepy Crawlies. Has 1, 2, 3, 4. Who's that knocking on my door? 5, 6, 7, 8. Hurry up! Don't be late. 9, 10. Level 2. I said level. We have a specific playlist for Creepy Crawlies this week. Has 5 videos on it. Varies from different times. Starts from like 2 minutes. It's gonna be a slightly lengthy video, basically, is what I'm saying. So sit back, do your thing. Let's get into it. I can't go on full screen. You know, last time it was kind of dark when we did this. I guess it added for the feeling, but it's not today, and I want to do it. You got a problem? Anyway, let's get it.
My name is Paul. I play a lot of video games with my group of friends. Recently, we've been playing Among Us most nights.
Get that ad out of my face.
My friends and I played video games together. We always used our mics, and a lot of times, we just trolled other players. We were playing Among Us and had a lot of discussions about who the killers could be. Me and my 2 friends, whose names were Harry and Wayne, thought it was the guy named Sean, and so did the rest of the lobby. We eventually voted him to be ejected. During the discussions, Sean was getting more and more aggressive, insisting it wasn't him who was the killer. And me and my 2 friends actually found it quite funny. After the game, Harry had received a message from a guy named Sean saying he wasn't the killer, and we shouldn't have ejected him, and so on. Wayne thought it would be funny to invite Sean into our lobby to troll him the whole game, and tell the rest of the players in the
so y'all deserve this then.
We think Sean's the killer. So that's what we did. We played the 2 games with the Sean guy, each time trolling him and saying that he was the killer and getting him ejected. Sean eventually left our lobby, and we didn't play with him again that night. I'm a light sleeper and wake up to the slightest of sounds. Car. I looked out my window and I saw a car parked just outside my house. The car was still running, but no one got out, no one got in the car.
Oh no.
I looked around and saw my street to be empty. Just before trying to go back to sleep, my computer started up. I went over to my computer and there was a blue screen. In the middle of the blue screen was an icon that said, "Open for discussion." I clicked on it and it revealed a very gory photo of a man who was cut in half. And underneath was written, "You have been ejected." I tried to move the mouse and turn off my computer, but it didn't work. The only thing to do was to look at the gruesome photo. My computer did turn off eventually, and as soon as it did, that car that was outside my house slowly drove off. The next day I woke up and saw a text from my friends Harry and Wayne, and they both said they had similar experiences, that they received weird pictures on the computer and phones.
This is what happens.
I asked them both if they think it was something to do with that guy we were trolling. They both didn't know what to think.
Little sweat beads.
I thought that Sean guy somehow found out where we lived and hacked our devices. What scares me is how real the photos were, and how he knew where me and my friends lived and was able to hack our devices so easily.
So you don't even know if it was him, bro. It could have been just some weirdo from the dark web. It wasn't necessarily Sean, you know what I mean? Not necessarily. Did I just do something real? Oh. Alright, we're good. We're good. That doesn't mean it's necessarily him, but that's still not okay.
First of all, I'd like to thank Filmora for sponsoring this video. Filmora,
this one's
my
called
favorite
A
video
Woman on a Rainy Day.
has just been updated to Filmora 10.
Yeah, we're gonna skip that.
So it's a few buttons you can do before Filmora's drift.
Dang!
It happened when I was in middle school. One day, my family decided to visit my mother's parents' house after a long time. The house was located in a rural area. There's a big road with a convenience store and a gas station around my grandparents' house. And down there in the middle is a small trail that takes a long walk to get there. It was located in the most isolated part of the village. So whenever I walked along the trail, all I could see was a bamboo forest or a large area of rice paddies, fields, and streetlights. And the streetlights are all worn out, so only a few of them are operating properly. As soon as we arrived, I greeted my grandparents and had a really nice and delicious meal with them. Well, it was pretty good then. The next evening, all the relatives gathered at my grandparents' house. My parents and others said that they were going to see the nightscape of the night sea with my grandparents. But at that time, my cousin and I weren't interested in that much, so we decided to stay at home. We were chatting for a while, and it suddenly started to rain. Then my mom called me to check the door and go to bed early, saying that they were going to stay the night in one of the relatives' houses because it was too late to go back. So we were sitting back and chatting and watching TV. Some kinds of that after checking if we locked the door well. After a while, my cousin kept pestering me, saying that he's hungry. I said, "Hey, would you like to go to buy some snacks together?
No.
There's a convenience store
Oh
over
my
there."
God.
No,
if your parents don't want to drive no more, why would you drive, bro?
Well, my cousin was such a coward boy. And in my case, I wasn't scared at all. I could walk at night or watch horror movies by myself. Eventually, I ended up coming out alone to get some snacks for him. Light drizzle was falling at that time, so I left the porch without an umbrella and stared at the trail. And at that very moment, I felt really weird. I got goosebumps at first. However, I soon ignored it and went straight to the convenience store to buy some snacks. I mean, everything was fine until then. As soon as I left the convenience store, the rain poured heavily. Holy crap, I should have brought an umbrella. Mumbling like that, I started to rush to the house.
Got a hood?
At that instant,
try not to
the
wet?
lightning suddenly flashed. Slowly frightened, I started running faster. When I reached the middle of the trail, I saw the muddy road and the broken streetlights. And something was dropping over the muddy.
It's always this ad. Always this exact one. Why are you everywhere?
I couldn't see it clearly because it was too dark around, but something like a
Look at it.
kept falling under the street.
Ad on my freak.
And when I looked up at the street light, my heart literally sank. I saw a silhouette of a person hanging upside down on a street light.
God,
and holding on its column. It was a woman, and she was hanging like a monkey.
I thought it was his mom.
You know what I mean. I was so surprised that I couldn't try to run away. Just stared blankly at her.
Who, like...
At that moment, there was another flash of lightning, and every time it flashed, the woman's face was clearly seen. Her crying face, smiling face, and a face with no expression. Looking at that face, my body was cold and stiff. I couldn't move my legs at all. The lightning stopped soon, and I couldn't see the woman anymore because the surrounding of the trail was dark again. I then started screaming and rushing toward home.
He dropped the bags.
It was then...
Why you drop...
Ugh! Laughing out loud. Shoot, if I turn around, she'll kill me, for sure.
Why did you drop the
I
bags?
ran like a crazy person. And when I got to the house, I screamed, hitting the front door with my body. My cousin came out, opened the door, and asked me if I saw a ghost or something.
Yes.
But I couldn't tell him what I saw because I was afraid he might be scared. I was thinking if I should call my parents to come over quickly. But somehow, I didn't think they would believe me. So, I just thought I might have seen something wrong, and eventually decided to sleep like that. But I couldn't sleep well that night. I kept feeling weird. There was a bamboo forest right next to the window in the room, and the sound of bamboo leaves hitting the window was so creepy. Feeling uncomfortable, I turned to the window. And there was someone else. Someone was standing by the window looking inside our room.
Get off the drugs!
I couldn't scream again. Covering myself with blanket, I was shivering and thinking I shouldn't move.
What?
But then I heard a strange sound of a song. I didn't know exactly what song he was singing,
Yeah.
but his trembling voice gave me goosebumps enough.
Shawty is a melody. I'll stop. I'll stop.
The window. Open the door. It was neither a woman nor a man.
What do you mean?
Knock, knock. Knock, knock. Open the door. It kept
You said that's
talking
not a
like that
woman.
in a deep, low voice. But suddenly,
Open the door.
Stop.
it was howling in an
Stop.
extremely high
Stop.
voice, and soon the voice was turning into laughter. I recognized that the laugh was exactly the same voice I heard when I
Stop.
ran off the trail a few hours ago. I had no choice but waited for the sound to disappear.
No
And I
choice.
guess I fell asleep so faintly. The next morning, I woke up to the sound of the
Bro.
phone ringing. At first,
Bro.
I was even afraid about the sound of a ringtone, so I didn't come out from my blanket until Mom and the other adults came back. After a few hours, my cousin suddenly approached me and said like this, "Hey, did you hear anything strange last night?" To my surprise, my cousin also heard that weird song, knocking sound, and the laughter yesterday. So, it was not a dream. At first, we were planning to stay one more day, but I begged my parents to go back home and I could come home right away that day. What the heck was that thing I saw on the trail that day? Do you think it followed me? Well, it's still a mystery that hasn't been solved to this day.
From the start, this dude was an idiot. I'm sorry. But you freaking saw the lady, right? Hear me out. Saw the lady, went, no. I'm keeping the snacks. I'm hitting that dash. Like this. I'm not coming back. And then she was in this dude's window. In the window. Let me tell you what you... If somebody in your window, let me tell you what you do. Alright? Give it a second. My foot is stuck. Give it a second. In the window. In the window. Hey. Hey. Get back. Get back. I got fire, boy. I'm trying. This one's Other Lily by David Romero. Real quick. I've heard of him. He doesn't play, so let's hope he didn't play this time. Okay. Great start. Great start, David. Fisheye? $3 a.m. Stop. It's 3 p.m. right now. Chill. Whoa, get out the mic, dog. You gotta get out the mic. Oh, hey. Hey. What? What? Holy. What time is it? Whoa! Oh my god. Whoa! Over the bed. That's open, that's open, that's open. Ooh. What? Talk to me. Okay, David. Alright, bro. Oh, you saw? Alright, David. Oh, no, she dead. She dead. Oh, my. Oh. Sit the freak down, dog. What the freak is happening? It's 3 a.m. again. Ha! No. It's a loop? It looped. David. Real quick, I don't mess with Chuck E. Cheese. I just want to let y'all know. So I might overreact a little bit with the... Alright, let's get into it. This is 11 minutes, so 11 minutes of torture at that. Get the freak to the video. Get the freak to the video. I'm over here hyping it up.
I feel like I need to get it off my chest.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I had a few years to digest this, and now I'm ready to share my story with the world. I wish to remain anonymous, so for the sake of this story, my name will be Danny. The details of this story remain vivid, but somewhat foggy, as I try to reminisce on the distant memories that occurred a couple of years ago. It all started when me and my parents resided together in an old townhouse, which was located in a neighborhood notorious for having a high crime rate. I never liked living there, and neither did my parents, but it was the only thing that we could afford at the time. My parents were a little rough around the edges, considering they had both been through a lot in their younger years. My dad has had a few run-ins with the law, while my mom lost both her parents at a very young age, so seeing them edgy at times didn't faze me at all. Well, I'm doing my best, alright?
Can you do something else? What you're doing isn't working.
I'd like to see you do better.
Well, do better, damn it!
Shut the hell up already. I'm tired of hearing you nag all day.
You shut up, you bum!
Almost every night, I could hear the constant back and forth bickering that occurred for hours on end between my parents. They would always fight over what I assumed to be financial related issues, which had only gotten worse over the years. My parents both didn't really make much money in their respective jobs, so hearing them argue was almost a daily occurrence. I was always scared that things would turn violent, especially with the way these two went at it. I remember one night, I was in my bed trying to induce myself to sleep by watching a couple of YouTube videos on
how
my
old are
cell
you?
phone. I could hear the usual shouting match coming from the kitchen downstairs. It honestly sounded like they were at the point where they were going to be in a physical altercation. I pressed my ear against my bedroom door and could hear the distant bickering become more hostile between my parents. I could make out my mom saying,
If you don't get a real job, I'm taking Danny and we're moving out.
No, that's the
"What the hell
worst.
are you talking about? He doesn't even like you."
Whoa!
Shut up! Shut the hell up!
I remember hearing sounds of my mom opening up the kitchen drawers, which led me to assume she was searching for something sharp and potentially do the unthinkable. That's when I decided to head downstairs and mediate the feud to hopefully put it to rest.
Let's go to Chuck E.
All
Cheese's
these new things this holiday season.
of everywhere.
Free browser extensions.
You know,
for
I'm not
money,
even
saves you
gonna
money
mention the
online.
ad. See, we not paying any attention to those anymore. That's how we handling them. Cause they be
I could see my mom holding a huge
Dang!
knife in an overhand grip. The kind of grip that someone uses in preparation of stabbing someone.
okay. He's
I could also
scared.
see my
He
dad
been in jail.
holding
He's
one of the
scared.
dining room chairs, in which I assumed was his defense mechanism.
What are you doing here,
Defense.
Danny? Didn't I tell you never to leave your room unless you have to use the washroom?
I'm sorry, Mom, but I heard you and
Go to your room, you little turd!
Don't call him that.
Don't tell me what to do, you mother.
Mom, please don't
Whoa.
kill Dad.
I said go to your room, Danny!
Leave Danny alone and put the knife away, Helen.
How he been in jail? He more chill than
Mom
you.
began piercing a family portrait of us, except she was only piercing the portion with my dad's face.
Jesus Christ.
Mom, stop! Please stop it!
Y'all need to calm down. All of y'all.
It's been a couple
He
weeks
jumped
after
straight to the
whole
point.
saga
Don't kill him.
occurred. My parents ended up getting a divorce, which unfortunately left me to reside with my mother. The court unfortunately ruled
So now
that
she
my
was
mom would be in
abusive.
favor of getting custody of me due to my dad's criminal history with the law. I
Man.
honestly
Do
contemplated
your
running
research.
away,
Get cameras, you
how much
know?
I dreaded living with her, especially with how toxic and controlling her behavior was. I would spend most of my time locked in my bedroom, sulking on why I couldn't live a normal life like the rest of the younger individuals in my neighborhood. Why in the hell do I have to live with her? Why couldn't I just live with Dad? He was always
Live
the better
with Chuck E. from Chuck E.
I can't
Cheese.
stand her. I wish she were dead. Made this even. I can't stand her. I wish she were dead. What made this even worse was the fact that I had a curfew during my school days.
Alright.
I didn't even have time to join any after-school clubs or sports teams due to the simple fact that I was too worried about not making it home on time. I remember my mom locked me out of the house for several hours due to the fact that I was 5 minutes past my curfew. The one thing I found even more aggravating was how my mom permanently banned me from going to the local Chuck E. Cheese restaurant located down
You're
the
lucky
street
for
from
that
my
one.
residence.
Phoenix, do you have the package?
I would if somebody was a little less aggressive.
just
For those that aren't familiar with Chuck E. Cheese, it's a
We
restaurant
familiar.
that has
Shut
arcade
up.
games and playrooms for younger
I'm
crowds
sorry.
such as
I'm sorry.
myself. I enjoyed going there, as it would bring back fond memories of when me and my dad used to go. I usually went to Chuck E. Cheese every time it was my birthday.
he's swiping through his
As a
phone.
tradition my
That's
dad
lonely,
established when
dog.
we all used to live together. But all of that is gone now. My mom took my entire childhood away from me, which I find equivalent to ripping my heart out of my chest. She selfishly didn't want me going because she didn't want me to be reminded of my dad's existence. The rules and restrictions I had to abide by really made it
Wipe
difficult
your
to make any
face.
friends, which put me in a dark state of mind for the latter part of my life. There was one night where I decided to approach my mom and convince her to bring me to Chuck E. Cheese for my upcoming birthday. I honestly cared more about Chuck E. Cheese than my actual birthday itself, which is why I ended up using it as an excuse to go there. Hey, Mom, can we please go to Chuck E. Cheese for my...
You like a grown kid.
But it's for my birthday.
No.
I anticipated the rebuttal my mom was going to throw at me, but that didn't stop me from being persistent with my request. After a few tears and relentless pleading, my mom eventually caved in.
Y'all see that? Shout out Corey Kenshin. Where's CDK? Hey, don't. I'm gonna chill. I need to chill.
The exhilaration of going to Chuck E. Cheese after all these months was honestly something I would compare to an inmate getting released from jail. I felt so excited, to the point where I didn't even care about anything else. Just me and the place that I once grew to love. My birthday eventually arrived. It was time for me to finally visit Chuck E. Cheese once again. It was about the evening time, so the venue was usually packed to full capacity. I couldn't help but marvel at what was in front of me, as I genuinely felt I was a kid in a candy shop. Pinch me. I must be dreaming. I immediately started playing the arcade games while my mom wandered off to grab some food. I remember being so hungry, but at the same time so infatuated with every arcade game that was in front of me.
I know he was gonna be the villain.
Countless games, as I knew this could be my very last time at Chuck E. Cheese. That's when I felt a strange tap.
It's that ad incoming, I swear to God. Okay, splice. I mess with it.
I turned towards the direction of where I felt the tap, only to see a large Chuck E. Cheese rat mascot hovering over me. I was a little alarmed that the mascot would approach me, considering there were hundreds of guests in attendance. Hey, Chucky? The mascot didn't say anything. He just stood there staring at me with his big, elongated eyes. I noticed he had red stains on his costume, which I assumed to be pizza stains. But then I noticed the stains had transferred onto the shoulder area of my shirt from the tap he did earlier. I now knew that these were definitely not pizza stains. They had to be blood stains of some sort. Chucky? Is she gone? Yeah, she is. Here, take my hand, Danny. I missed you, Dad. I missed you too, son.
We got one more after this, dog. I don't know. Alright. Next. That scarred me, dog. How long have I been? 31 minutes. We've been doing 31 minutes. What is that? What was that?
I received my first tooth at the age of 2.5. This was, by all accounts, particularly late in a child's development. It meant that I was also late to be weaned.
That was straight. I can't show that.
I did not enjoy teething so much. Its unpleasantness developed in me a certain disregard for these hard buds erupting from my gums. I found biting with conviction on firm objects to be of benefit and suitable punishment for the teeth. I would take to chewing anything that could get my young mandible around. Surprisingly, My teeth survived this intentional barbarity, only to be defeated by an oh-so-sweet sticky toffee apple.
Ugh, ew.
This victory was
Disgusting.
short-lived. These were primary teeth, and primary teeth are only present to make way for adult teeth. They sprouted anew. By the age of 6.5, I had unfortunately now gained a complete and fresh set.
Whoa.
I had no interest in their welfare. I only had interest in the sugariness that passed them by and settled on my tongue. My first adult tooth was not a victim to my thoughtlessness, but was in fact knocked out. At 11 years of age, a pre-planned chance meeting behind the school resulted in an inconspicuous bicuspid becoming an absent bicuspid. The gap left by this missing tooth was thoroughly explored and enjoyed by my tongue with fond reminiscence. I reached the age of 48, continuing to lose teeth. By then, I had lost enough teeth to begin missing them in my day-to-day mastication of food. Even if my tongue was now lavishing in the smoothness of its surrounds.
Just get some fake ones, honestly.
I lost 3 more through
Oh,
medical
never mind. You don't look like you can afford it.
Through necessity, I gained my first set of dentures.
Oh,
Then
okay then.
came a revelation. It was only then, presented with the disembodied enamels, that the full beauty of this substantial link between food, tongue, throat, and stomach became apparent.
Are those flies?
I began to place the form of the teeth above the function, vetting and analyzing food for potential risk of the teeth falling foul. Many foods, in fact, became avoided. Avoided or mashed, filtered, separated, and mashed again. All for the sake of keeping my prosthetic teeth pristine. My fascination with teeth soon began to spread outside the realm of my own and into those of other toothed animals. I marveled
You was
at their
so
efficiency,
normal.
their specificity. These
Well, not normal,
wondrous
but you were
beasts
like-
had no need to worry their minds about their teeth.
no.
They were blessed with immaculate design. I would take inspiration from them.
Oh.
I began to think about how I could combine these specialist points.
You can't.
That perhaps I could improve on my previous God-given and God-inspired dentures. I realized the perfect cutting, tearing, and mashing tools. At the age of 62, I separated the species and sorted the teeth into categories of size and shape. I gathered my resources and set to work on the construction. Through my thorough studies, I became convinced that I had come to a combination of interspecies teeth that could not be better matched.
What you,
My meticulousness meant that they were not finished swiftly, but they would be of utmost quality. In my 70th, the impressive and fierce set of teeth were complete.
Wow, that is insane. Who you eating? Whoa. Okay.
In my 71st year, I lost the tip of my tongue.
Oh my. Alright. That was it. That was the list. How long we been recording for? 37 minutes. This might be the longest I've ever recorded for. Hopefully you enjoy it. If you did, the views, obviously. We do this every time. Nothing new. Okay, I'm not gonna walk away this time, because last time, just gonna go.
Drop it, drop it, drop it, drop it.